Are you a Honda?
It's your reality, no.
Well, hello people. Welcome back to, once again, another part of the twister truck build. Here we have the engine. Here we have the truck. Now, this is part 6. But part 5? Yeah, that was literally a year ago. Like, I think this month. The last time you saw it, it was just a bare frame, which had new tires, but those tires and wheels went on, we'll call it Twister Truck 3, which is the one that went to the Wakita event. But this is the one that I was building, that I did the body swap on and restored the frame. So yeah, the last time you saw it, it's a bare frame. Now it has cab on it, the fenders, the bed. Fenders are just loosely in place. Interior's still the same as it was on the other truck. But yeah, basically today, just ignore what has happened in the last year. But today we're gonna clean up the engine bay because I did not wash it when I pulled this cab off the other truck. So we're gonna go ahead and get that done. And as you saw in here, we have the engine. So we're gonna go ahead and get this all cleaned up and get it ready for paint. Got the hot water power washer here once again. So let's get to it. And oh, don't mind this car. You'll see that in an upcoming video, probably. But for now, just adore it in the background. Alright, I sprayed some super clean on this thing just to give the hot water pressure washer a helping hand. I'm not going to worry about plugging the ports or the back of the timing case. I'll just try to avoid it. But I mean, I'm going to change the oil and everything anyways, pull the valve covers off, so it's going to get partially stripped down. It'll be okay. So I'm going to set you guys up and we'll do a little time lapse. Got it all cleaned up pretty well. There's a little bit of like really chunky grease at the bottom that I'll just scrape off and clean with some carb cleaner. But overall, it cleaned up pretty good enough to paint and good enough for that old truck. But I mean, I'd be a monster if I, you know, just threw it in as is with the barn dust and everything on it. So we'll let this thing dry and get it painted. Well, good morning viewers. Welcome to part 6 of the second day of the 1 year long Dodge project. This morning I went ahead and taped up our ID plate and the little yellow handle for the fuel valve or fuel drain. Everything else is going to be sprayed black. So we're just going to go ahead and do a rebuild on this thing. And we got the duplicolor engine enamel. That's going to be for the majority of the engine. And we have flame-proof header paint, which is going to go on the head and, yeah, probably just the head, because this is where it's going to be the hottest. So shake this up and then we'll start rebuilding. So the longer I keep staring at this thing, I actually keep noticing more and more things wrong, like the harmonic balancer needs to be changed, this oil cap isn't right, the dipstick is the dipstick itself is missing, This line here is broke for the return line. And I just noticed that we have 4 broken exhaust bolts. Great. Anyways, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and start rebuilding this. It's gonna be fine. No one will ever know. Just kidding. I am gonna fix that. Just not at this very moment, because I don't feel like it. Beautiful. So I thought that Cummins painted these things black. It turns out they're actually like a gray, or like a strange gray. I don't know how to put it. I personally like the black. I think it looks better. Just nice and clean, tidy. Put a new head gasket on too while we're there. So anyways, I'm gonna set y'all up and watch me paint this thing. Okay, this thing's fully rebuilt now. Looking pretty good, if I do say so myself. Not perfect, but it'll look really nice in the truck, and it's got stuff that goes on it, wiring harness and whatnot, so it'll be okay. We're gonna let this dry and guess start power washing the engine bay, getting it ready to drop in. So I should probably mention that yes, got a new GoPro. Still not sure what happened to the old one. I'm gonna see if I can try to fix it. But on a side note, we're gonna wash the truck, wash the engine bay, and try out this new headband. Let me see it in the reflection there. So you get to be with me while I power wash it. Good old Honda here, I think. Are you a Honda? Oh, I don't know. I don't think it's a Honda. Where's the pressure at? Bruh. Okay, I bet it works a little better now. So anyways, that's basically what's gonna be this whole thing. We're just gonna clean this up and we'll come back when it's done. Well, welcome back to part 4 or 5 of a 1-day, 1-part engine install. After broken exhaust studs and every other issue, finally got this thing put together. So we're just gonna go ahead and stab it in the truck. I know, aren't you excited? So I'll set you right here and we're gonna get this thing installed. Well, that's gonna do it for this part. We got the engine all installed. It's not bolted down, but it is in there. Hello, wasp. Anyways, it was not easy, but we had to take the hood off, and the bumper bolts that I put in will no longer come out. Well, 4 of them did, 2 of them won't, so that made it a little bit more difficult. So yeah, it's big progress. I mean, the motor hasn't been in this thing in a year. So in the next part, we're gonna go get the harness all installed and hook the fuel lines up, get this thing to where we can hear it run, and then we'll put the radiator back in and all of this, get everything done under the hood. Then we'll move to the interior and get the pedals installed and cut the hole in the floor for the full drive shifter and the shifter for the transmission. Then put the clutch on it, put the transmission in, the transfer case in, drive shafts. Still gotta bleed the brakes. There's a lot of little odds and ends. Obviously still need headlights. Still needs the front end kit installed. So yeah, there's a lot left, but we're getting there.